Hello to all. My name is Matthew Hewitson, and the newspaper I will be analyzing for the front pages in this report is the Sacramento Bee, dated from 1857 to 1983. Something you will notice immediately when first glancing at this front page is the name. On February 3rd, 1857, when this issue was first published, the name of the paper was the Daily Bee. The ratio of editorial information compared to advertisement in this 1857 version of the Daily Bee is 30% editorial information and 70% advertisements. The products being advertised on the front page of this edition include drugstore ads, hotel availability, clothing ads, banks and services, furniture stores, law partnerships, and even bounty advertisements for wanted individuals. The wide range of advertisements speaks to the growth of American culture in the mid-1800s. Advertising your product in newspapers is one of the most efficient ways to get the name of your brand out to the public. The second newspaper I will be analyzing is the May 8th, 1901 issue of The Bee. Again, you will notice that the newspaper name is not the same as the first front page I reported. The evolution of newspapers also came with the evolution of the newspaper name itself. The Bee was constantly looking to improve during this time to try and get ahead of rival competitors. There are two specific illustrations and drawings on the front page of the 1901 issue. There are no photographs on the page, but the first illustration is centered at the top of the page between the title The Bee. I found this to be a very interesting place to put one of the only two illustrations on the front page, considering there are so many other places to put it. If you look closely, you can see that the image is a printing machine with the word I can't quite make out lettered across it. This illustration could be possibly foreshadowing something for the newspaper in the near future. Something you will notice in the second illustration is the advertisement that has a picture drawn of a man smoking. The ad is aimed at helping people quit smoking tobacco. You will also notice that some words in the advertisement are in both Spanish and English. The third newspaper issue that I will be analyzing is the April 10th, 1950 edition. A common theme present in my research so far has been the title of the newspaper itself. In 1950, you will finally see the change to what we now refer to as the Sacramento Bee. Something particular I noticed about the page layout for this edition of the Sacramento Bee was the vertical aspect of how they separate text from top down and left to right. The sections are marked off by skinny lines that indicate the boundaries of the text. The same font is used for all actual text present on the front page. The headline font, on the other hand, is larger and different than the text they used for the substance of the page. The layout of the Sacramento Bee in 1950 is ahead of its time in terms of its page organization. It is somewhat similar to what we see now. Only difference is the evolution of years that have come before it. Slowly but surely, you begin to see in all of these front pages the effort to cleanly organize the sections for readers. The final issue of the front page I will be analyzing is the February 2nd, 1983 edition of the Sacramento Bee. Immediately, you will notice how clean and well put together the information on the page is. The page layout has evolved tremendously since we first began with the front page of 1857. The first news item on the page that caught my attention was a picture of a Chicago fireman rushing a child to the ambulance after being severely injured. The reason it caught my attention was due to it being the largest photo on the front page. The content provided around the picture itself served as the lead story of the day. Another story I found particularly interesting was a story pertaining to a truck driver who had an avalanche occur when he was driving around a mountainside in Ohio. The picture on the front page is of the driver of the incident, John Randolph. The picture was taken after authorities claimed the situation was lucky to have turned out as well as it did. Both of these news items served as the leading stories for readers throughout the day of February 2nd, 1983. Thank you for watching my presentation, and I hope you really enjoyed it.